Hello, I'm Peter Kavunas, the manager of the water system for the City of Glendale. The city serves 205,000 residents in an area that spans 31 square miles and ranges from the downtown all the way up to the San Gabriel Mountains. The water system was built along with the city in the 20s, the 30s, and again with the boom following World War II in the 40s. For the potable water system to serve the whole area, there have to be a number of storage facilities, and indeed there's over 30 storage facilities that serve the city. There's concrete reservoirs that are buried below ground and steel tanks that are above ground. One of these facilities, the Chevy Chase 968 Reservoir, was built in 1928. Inspections found that there were a number of cracks in the concrete, both the columns that hold up the roof and the pedestals that hold up the columns, that had developed after all the earthquakes that have hit the region since the reservoir was originally built. The Water Department did a number of engineering studies and concluded that the reservoir had to be replaced. It was actually cheaper to replace the reservoir than it was to repair all the cracks and all the columns that were inside the reservoir. In this video, we're going to describe for you a little bit of the community involvement, as well as the planning, the design, and the construction of the reservoir to its completion today. The city realized the potential impacts that this project could have on the community and made every effort to ensure that a comprehensive public information program was in place. Early on, before the site was ever selected, the city went to the community and held meetings to discuss the possible sites and help the community understand what the choices were and ultimately consider their input in picking a site. As the construction started, there were a number of community meetings, a total of 10 community meetings, to give information about the status of the project and to gather any concerns, any complaints that the residents would have. A free hotline was established for residents to call if they had concerns. A dedicated email account was established, along with a website where regular postings were made of the progress of the project. These updates also included 3-week notices before anything significant would happen that would affect the community. For example, pouring of concrete, which would have meant concrete trucks up and down Chevy Chase Canyon. In addition, LED signs were posted at the canyon, at the top of the canyon as well as at the bottom of the canyon, so traffic would have advance warning that they were coming up on a construction site. Not surprisingly, the site that was selected was the site of the original reservoir. It made a lot of sense because that was a spot that was already connected to the existing system, but also because the rest of the canyon had since been built up. During the investigation of the proposed reservoir replacement, it became clear that the existing booster pump station was nearing the end of its useful life. So in the design, the decision was made to also demolish the pump station and build a new one right next to the new reservoir. The most pressing constraints on this construction project were, first, the very tight construction site, and second, the time schedule that the contractor had to build the reservoir. The construction site is very tight because all around this reservoir is a golf course, and it was the city's clear desire to keep the golf course operational during construction. That made it very difficult for the contractor because there was no room to lay down soils that had been excavated or materials that would be used during construction. The city's desire was also to finish the construction of the reservoir and have it back in service after being out of service only one summer, the summer being of course the high demand months and also the months with the highest fire danger. So the idea was to get the reservoir built in 2008 and completed before